Today we're diving into a story that has stunned analysts, surprised European leaders, and left the global community trying to understand what just happened. Denmark, a country often seen as calm, predictable, and steady in its policymaking, has suddenly taken a step that no one saw coming. In this video, we're going to break down what happened, why it matters, and how this unexpected decision could reshape conversations far beyond Denmark's borders. So, sit tight, because what seemed like a quiet Scandinavian nation has just placed itself at the center of a major global discussion. For years, Denmark has been considered one of the most stable and consistent nations in Europe. Whether we talk about economics, politics, or social policies, Denmark usually follows a steady pattern: transparent decisions, long-term planning, and broad national consensus. That's exactly why this new move has caused such a shockwave. When a country known for predictability suddenly breaks the script, people pay attention, and in this case, the surprise element is what set off so much debate and speculation. Many experts didn't believe Denmark would ever take such a bold step, at least not this soon, and not this dramatically. The unexpected nature of Denmark's move becomes even clearer when you look at the context leading up to the announcement. Analysts were focused on the usual topics: climate initiatives, economic stability, welfare adjustments, or debates around immigration policies. But what Denmark did cut across these expectations entirely. It wasn't a minor adjustment, nor was it something symbolic without real impact. Instead, it was a clear departure from what everyone assumed Denmark would do. It almost felt like the country had been quietly preparing for a dramatic pivot while the rest of the world wasn't paying attention. Reactions from across Europe were immediate and intense. Some leaders expressed admiration, others concern, and a few were left openly confused. The European Union itself wasn't prepared for such a sudden shift from a member known for cooperation and alignment. Many diplomatic channels immediately lit up with attempts to understand the motivations behind this decision. What made Denmark act now? Why this way? And what was the country hoping to achieve? These questions spread through think tanks, media outlets, government offices, and international commentators within minutes of the announcement. Inside Denmark, reactions were mixed but energetic. Some citizens applauded the move as brave, forward-thinking, and necessary for the country's long-term goals. Others felt uncertain, surprised, or even anxious about the potential consequences. Denmark is a country where major national decisions often follow extensive public discussion, so seeing a move that seemed to come out of nowhere only added to the sense of astonishment. People began asking if the decision had been in development for longer than anyone realized, or if recent global events had pushed Denmark toward a more drastic position. One of the key reasons this move gained so much attention is the message it sends. Denmark isn't just making a national adjustment. It's signaling something about its role in the world. Small countries are often expected to follow global trends, not set them. But Denmark has a history of shaping worldwide conversations in areas like green energy, social policy, and design innovation. Its new steps suggest Denmark is ready to lead on another front, even if that leadership requires taking risks or challenging established expectations. The boldness of the move is a reminder that influence doesn't always come from size. It comes from clarity, conviction, and timing. To understand why the move carries so much weight, we have to look at Denmark's reputation in international affairs. The country often plays the role of mediator, problem solver, and consensus builder. It's known for diplomacy that feels measured and responsible. So when a nation with that image suddenly takes an unexpected, assertive action, it makes global observers question what may have shifted behind the scenes. Did Denmark experience new pressures? Did the government respond to emerging challenges that the public wasn't aware of? Or did leaders simply decide that the moment for a bold recalibration had finally arrived? One thing that stands out is how Denmark framed the decision. Instead of announcing it as a reluctant move or a temporary response to outside pressures, officials presented it with confidence. They emphasized long-term goals, national values, and the need to stay ahead of future challenges. That tone alone caught many people by surprise. Denmark wasn't just acting, it was acting with purpose. It was sending a subtle reminder that even countries known for quiet stability have moments when they choose to redefine themselves boldly. International media coverage picked up on the story almost instantly. Headlines described Denmark's move as shocking, disruptive, groundbreaking, and unpredictable. Commentators from different countries tried to analyze the underlying motivations. Some argued that Denmark was positioning itself strategically for future global shifts. Others speculated that internal political dynamics had evolved faster than the public realized. and a few saw the move as a natural extension of Denmark's long-term ambition to play a stronger role in shaping international policy. Regardless of the interpretation, nearly everyone agreed on one thing: nobody saw it coming. Economists began analyzing how the decision might ripple through European markets. Political experts examined how it could influence regional alliances. Strategists wondered if other nations might follow Denmark's lead, creating a domino effect. And ordinary citizens across Europe started discussing the implications in everyday conversations. When a country that usually operates quietly suddenly makes noise, the world listens with heightened attention. Denmark had managed to shift the narrative in a way few expected. The more people examined the move, the more layers they discovered. On one level, it was a national policy decision. On another, it was a signal about Denmark's evolving identity. And on yet another level, it was a strategic message to the world about independence, adaptability, and innovation. Denmark has always valued these principles, but this time it expressed them in a far more dramatic fashion. Instead of gradual change, it chose decisive action. Instead of incremental adjustments, it made a leap. That leap is what gave the decision its surprising force. There are several theories about why Denmark felt the need to act now. Some point to shifting global landscapes, economic uncertainty, technological changes, geopolitical tensions, or environmental pressures. Others suggest Denmark recognized an opportunity to strengthen its position in a competitive world. And some analysts argue the decision reflects a deeper desire to protect national interests while also influencing the broader European direction. When viewed through these lenses, the move becomes part of a larger story rather than an isolated event. The timing plays a major role in the shock factor. Nothing in recent political signals suggested Denmark was preparing for such a transformative step. Most forecasts predicted continued stability and gradual reforms. Instead, the announcement shook expectations and forced observers to rethink their assumptions about Denmark's strategic priorities. Timing is everything in politics, and Denmark chose a moment when global attention was scattered across other issues. By acting at a time when few expected changes, Denmark amplified the impact of its decision. Public discussions inside Denmark quickly turned into a nationwide reflection. People debated the potential benefits, risks, and long-term outcomes. Some saw the move as a necessary transformation in an uncertain world. Others preferred the traditional, steady approach. But regardless of the stance, almost everyone agreed that Denmark had taken a step that would influence the country for years to come. It sparked conversations in schools, workplaces, and social gatherings. Big decisions do that. They push people to think about the future, identity, and the direction they want their country to take. Meanwhile, other European nations reacted in their own ways. A few expressed interest in learning from Denmark's strategy. Some viewed the move as concerning because of the potential ripple effects. Others responded cautiously, not wanting to judge before understanding the full implications. In international relations, every bold move creates a chain of reactions, and Denmark's decision was no exception. It prompted governments across Europe to reassess their own strategies, even if quietly. As the dust began to settle, deeper analyses started to emerge. Some experts praised Denmark's courage, calling it a forward-thinking move that anticipated future challenges rather than reacting to them. Others criticized the decision as risky, arguing that predictability is one of Denmark's greatest strengths and shouldn't be disrupted so abruptly. But mixed reactions are normal when a country breaks expectations. The very nature of a bold move ensures people will debate it intensely. What's clear is that Denmark wasn't trying to shock for the sake of shock. The decision reflects a calculated shift in strategy. It hints at long-term thinking, even if the short-term reaction is filled with confusion and debate. Denmark is known for making decisions rooted in research, analysis, and a strong sense of responsibility. That tradition didn't disappear. Instead, it seems the country concluded that staying ahead required a more dramatic approach this time. It wasn't abandoning its values. It was acting in alignment with them, but in a new way. As more details became public, people began to see the broader picture. The move wasn't sudden chaos. It was part of a larger vision. Denmark was preparing for future conditions that many countries would eventually face. By acting early, Denmark positioned itself as a leader in navigating these challenges. Sometimes leadership requires being first, even if being first means stepping into the unknown. And Denmark has done that before in other fields. Whether it's renewable energy, digital innovation, or social welfare, Denmark often tries something new before it becomes mainstream. This latest decision, however, stands out because of its surprise factor. Even those familiar with Denmark's progressive tendencies didn't predict such a dramatic shift. That unpredictability is what made the move headline-worthy. Yet, as more analysts look deeper, they realize the decision fits into a pattern of Denmark embracing innovation when the moment calls for it. It's just that this time the scale was bigger and the timing more unexpected. Story of Denmark's bold move is still unfolding. Its full impact will take time to understand. But one thing is certain. Denmark has captured global attention in a way that few expected. Instead of quietly following established paths, the country has chosen to redefine its direction. And sometimes, that's exactly what a nation needs to do to stay relevant, competitive, and forward-focused. As the world continues to analyze Denmark's decision, one lesson stands out clearly. Even the most predictable countries can surprise you. Stability doesn't mean stagnation. Predictability doesn't mean passiveness. And small nations can make big statements when they choose the right moment. Denmark has reminded everyone that leadership comes in many forms. Sometimes it's quiet and steady. Other times it's bold and unexpected. This move will continue to shape debates, policies, and international strategies in the years ahead. Whether it becomes a trendsetter or remains a unique moment in Denmark's history, it has already accomplished something remarkable. It has made the world pause, rethink, and pay attention, and that alone is a powerful achievement. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching and exploring this fascinating story with me. Denmark may not be known for dramatic surprises, but this time it delivered one that people won't forget anytime soon. Stay tuned for more content like this, and as always, see you in the next video.